Green pastures, ancient waterways and jagged cliffs form an amphitheatre for a drama that has been building for the last 9 years as KEPCO enacted plans to mine coal from the valley. A landmark ruling by the state's Independent Planning Commission that announced KEPCO's massive mine proposed would not proceed shocked local Bylong residents who had been deeply divided over it. Philip Kennedy, a sheep farmer in the Bylong Valley, couldn't believe the mine wouldn't be going ahead.
I was over the moon. It's winter agriculture in Australia.
The mine was rejected by the Commission on the grounds of environmental, agricultural and heritage concerns. A key environmental impact cited was the contamination of underlying groundwater the mine would cause in the local area. The Commission characterised the valley as a biophysical strategic agricultural land, or BSAL, of which only 3% of the state is made up of. The IPC reasoned there was a lack of evidence to suggest that KEPCO could rehabilitate the land back to BSAL equivalent after mining.
Two main concerns like visual pollution, air pollution. It's only 5 k's that way over that hill there. But our biggest fear was the damaging of our underground water here. Those crops are irrigated behind us. They've been irrigated because we have an underground aquifer, and that was in jeopardy because their pit was starting 50 metres below the ground level, and now the aquifer is 3 metres below ground level, and there was no guarantee that they wouldn't wreck our water supply. And no compensation from foreigners, letting them do that to Australian farmers.
Undoubtedly would have impacted water. Even their own modelling was using very disingenuous words, maybe, potentially, unlikely, and I think it was words like only farmers within 5 kilometres might be significantly impacted. So even their own modelling wasn't great, and we didn't have faith in it. So
this is the lifeblood of our farm. As the crow flies, the mine boundary was 13 kilometres from here, so we were very concerned that any underground mining or open cut mining might affect our water. So that was our main concern, and also we were very concerned about the Bylong Valley, very beautiful, pristine valley, no mining in the area.
The South Korean company behind the Bylong mine had claimed it would generate $290 million of royalties and provide hundreds of jobs for the region. Bruce and Susie run the Bylong Creek 4x4 park. They say while their own business could have been affected, it would have brought economic benefits to the town.
We're not martyrs, but the general benefit, or the wider benefit of the wider community, if we're going to be sacrificed, and I'm deadly serious, so be it.
It's a small price.
It is a price to pay. Look, I'm 53. I've got no agenda. I'm too old and rickety to get employment in the mine. But if that means employment for the next generation or 25 years of youth in the Kandos, Rollstone and wider area, it's a small price to pay. So again, there really is, and we're assigned to that. If it costs us our business, they'll probably buy us out or whatever, the land value.
To be honest, wool at the moment is about $30,000 a tonne. KEPCO, the Korean company who are going to mine here, we're going to pay $2 a tonne in royalties to the New South Wales government. We're gonna continue and sustainably grow sheep for meat and wool, and they want to dig a big hole in the ground that was going to steal our water for $2 a tonne. $11 million a year is all KEPCO wanted to pay. Now $11 million a year, and I'm just, making this up, or I don't know the numbers, but I'm guessing $11 million a year probably wouldn't pay for the demolition of the stadiums in Sydney that they're proposing.
Bruce and Susie think local businesses didn't have a big enough say in the IPC's decision.
Extremely disappointed. The area needs it, the youth needs it, the local businesses need it. And the fact that it was influenced greatly by people from out of the area, that in the cut and paste or form letter guide letter for protest, even when I addressed the IPC meeting up Mudgee, a lot of the relevant businesses who this decision directly affects, unfortunately they couldn't be there. They were too busy having their doors open, trying to keep their businesses going, whereas retired academics, professional protesters, people which I believe with a genuine interest but they're not part of the area. They had the maximum say. They came up on a bus or a bus brigade. They've never contributed to this community. They've never patronised any of the local businesses. And they jumped on the bus again at the end of the day and went back to their ABC TV in Sydney. So it's really, they wouldn't appreciate it if country people put their nose in their business down in Lane Cove.
Philip thinks the mine wouldn't have solved the need for more jobs in the community.
The Bylong community is only 20 k's long by 5 k's wide. They've depopulated probably 50 to 60% of the Bylong Valley already. The people have left, the land's been purchased, it's run with a skeleton staff. Neighbouring towns and villages 40 to 80 k's, 90 k's away are wanting the mine because they think jobs and growth, but I think they're overstating the mark. And there's already 3 mines on the edge of Mudgee now. If those 3 mines haven't saved them, I don't think the 4th one will.
Georgina Woods, a spokesman for Lock the Gate, says while the decision is a great relief, there has already been considerable damage to the social fabric of the community.
The valley has already experienced significant social impact from the mine before it even went ahead. And that's because the mining company bought around 13,000 hectares of properties in the Bylong Valley. So a lot of people who used to form the guts of the community in the Bylong Valley have moved away. The school closed. One of the churches was deconsecrated. The famous mouse races that used to draw hundreds or even thousands of people to Bylong annually stopped operating. A lot of the social infrastructure of the valley has been severely damaged by the mining company. And so they're really now relieved at the decision, but looking to the future and thinking, how can they rebuild their community? How can Bylong have a productive future?